One of the great things about ministering on social media is that, well, it's social. Unlike TV or movies, I can post content here or on other platforms, you can respond, and we can have a conversation. Even after more than 9 years of this, I find myself in awe at the fact that I'm speaking to people literally around the world. What an absolute blessing all of you have been in my life. Well, I mean, at least some of you. The downside of having an open platform of communication in which anyone and everyone can comment is that anyone and everyone can comment. As much as it is edifying to see the positive affirmations and thoughtful questions that many of you come up with, it can be downright debilitating to see the avalanche of hatred that comes along with it. Every single day I receive comments peppered with vulgarity, spreading prejudice and misinformation, often attacking me as a person. I know it comes with the territory, but it's still not fun. For the most part, I am more than happy to ignore these comments, delete them, or just outright block people. My comment section is not protected under the Bill of Rights, and so if people, or bots, are going to cause problems, there is not an ounce of me that feels bad about removing them. Please take your vulgarity and conspiracy theories somewhere else. Unfortunately, though, this is not the only way that I deal with negativity. No, far more satisfying than simply ignoring or deleting the riffraff is to go on the offensive, to fight fire with fire. You're gonna call me names? You're gonna say something hurtful towards me? Whew, did you mess with the wrong padre? Filled with the zeal of the Old Testament, the fury of God's wrath towards injustice, there are times that I have had it up to here with the nonsense of the internet and decide that it is my role to put people in their place, call them out for their idiocy, name their sins, correct their grammar. And to some extent, this is my role, right? As a priest, but really as a baptized Christian, it is my responsibility to correct the ignorant. If someone's going to act arrogantly, speak uncharitably, or spread blasphemy, I owe it to them and to the rest of the faithful to make sure that this behavior doesn't go unchecked. Sometimes I do believe people need tough love, and maybe it takes a priest calling them out to realize how far they've strayed from Christian charity. But sometimes it does go beyond that, I have to admit. There's definitely a righteous anger that comes over me at times in the comment section, a satisfaction that comes not just from correcting the arrogant, but adding a little sarcasm to humiliate them, trying to make someone feel stupid, asserting myself over them as an authority, so how dare you speak to me this way? This is not what I want to be about. I do think that instances of this are rare, as I'm definitely conscious about avoiding ad hominem arguments and do my best to treat people with respect. I don't mean to say anything in the comments that I wouldn't say to someone in person in spiritual direction. But I know that I do. I know that I've crossed the line at times and acted inappropriately. If I've ever done that to you, I am sincerely sorry. But here's the real question. After this big long wind-up, here's what I'm ultimately trying to get at in this video. Regardless of whether or not responding in a confrontational way is charitably done, is it ever actually effective? Does calling someone out, calling someone a name, telling them that they are wrong, actually change hearts and minds? Now, obviously, there's a part of me that thinks it does. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I don't just ignore the repulsive comments all the time. I respond to them. I get in arguments with people here and on Twitter, not because I find it fun, but because I think people need to be corrected and I'm the one to do it. And yet, there's something deep down that doubts I'm actually making a difference. In fact, we have data to prove that I'm probably not. Study after study has shown that people often do not change their minds when presented with facts contrary to their opinions. As sad as it sounds, facts simply don't move people. They should, but they often don't. Instead, what does move people, and moves them very powerfully, are relationships, people that they trust. There's an old joke that I heard when I was in Italy, that if the Italian government says something, that people might obey. If the Roman Church teaches something, they might believe. But if someone's grandmother from the street around the corner says something, people will fight to the death for it. Now, it sounds kind of ridiculous when you put it that way, but I think there's a lot of truth to that. When someone we love and respect says something to us, for better or for worse, we are less likely to think critically about it. We just accept it as fact because, well, someone we trust said it. On the flip side, if someone from another political party, another religion, another way of life says something that contradicts our own understanding, even if it's logical and backed with facts, I'm sad to say that many of us would probably reject it, at least at first. How we feel about someone greatly influences what we hear from them. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, and maybe even more importantly, who is the one saying it? Which brings me back to my internet issue, which really is all of our issue. Dealing with people with different opinions and conceptions of the world. As Christians, we have a vested interest in sharing the truth of the gospel. We are evangelical by nature, anointed by Christ in our baptism to be prophets and commissioned to teach all the world about him. Unfortunately, there are many people who want nothing to do with the gospel. They think that it's false or stupid or a waste of time and so reject Christ in their lives. They attack us and our beliefs, spreading lies and malice to the world. How do we deal with these people? How do we approach someone when they believe in conspiracy theories, speak racist words, or attack us personally? The temptation, I think, is to respond as I do online in my lowest moments, to fight fire with fire, to return their malice with sarcasm and snide remarks, to assert our truth over them so that they will know that they are wrong. Racist? Idiot? Read your Bible, you fake Christian. It's a strategy that empowers us for sure, but does absolutely nothing for the gospel. And that should say something to us. That should wake us up and force us to ask the very serious question, what are we even doing here? If our words and actions do not bring others closer to Christ, if a strategy of proving people wrong and diminishing them doesn't actually change their minds, then we've got to stop what we're doing and start doing what does. I've said it before and I'll say it again. No one converts to Christianity because they lost an argument. Intellectual formation and serious catechesis to questioning is important in developing one's faith, but the faith itself, the moment of actual conversion, doesn't come from being proved wrong. It comes from a genuine encounter with Christ. It comes from the recognition that we are broken, sinful people, trapped in a world that we cannot fix, only to encounter a man who can set us free, a man who can heal us, a man who loves us even when we fall. He didn't come to tell us that we were trapped, to accuse us of our faults. He came to set us free from all that binds us so that we could be who he has created us to be. This is the joy of the gospel, and more than anything else, it changes minds and hearts. As followers of Christ, this must be our strategy for evangelization. If people truly aren't moved by facts, but by people they trust, then we must become people that the world can trust. We must become people that the world looks at and immediately knows that we are on their side, that we love them and want the best for them. Is it an easy task? You know it's not. It means taking the time to listen to the other person, to get to know why they believe what they do, to build a relationship. It takes patience when progress is slow, self-control when our attempts are scorned, trust in God when nothing seems to work. What we are doing is a difficult task, and so we cannot expect it to be successful in just a single tweet or quick correction. I think of the work of someone like Daryl Davis, a black man who experienced racism even from his youth. You could completely understand if he wanted to return fire with fire to white supremacists, if he angrily stuck out his finger and called them good-for-nothing racists. It would be immediately satisfying, and he'd be right. But they'd still be racists. It's because of this that he's made it part of his life's work to convert members of the KKK through patience and understanding. He befriends its members, treats them with respect, listens to their stories, and shows them that there is another way to live. More than 200 members of the KKK have been set free because of his work. What if we approached our enemies in this way? What if we approached everyone that believes something ridiculous, that seeks to hurt us, that wants nothing to do with the truth of the gospel, not as opponents that need to be silenced, but as brothers and sisters trapped in their own prisons? I guess what I'm asking is, what if we approached others the way Jesus approached us? The task of evangelization is not an easy one, and no one expects it to do it all ourselves. Truly, it is the work of the Holy Spirit to change hearts. But we are His ambassadors. We are His prophets. And if the world experiences us as enemies, as people only concerned with pointing out their faults and engaging in battle, they may never have the opportunity to hear the true voice of Jesus. If we want to be more like Christ, it is not enough to tell people that they are prisoners. We have to help set them free. Free them from their hatred. Free them from their untruth. Free them from the ridiculous idea that we are not on the same side. We are. The sooner that we can accept that, developing an actual care for the person across from us, the sooner that they're going to trust what we actually have to say to them.